Dear friends, today we will discuss on how to stay relevant in the ever-changing SAP job market. So that's the topic for the day. Okay, so let's move further. As you know, the time currently which is going on is a very challenging time. Everywhere layoffs are happening, not just into the IT industry but otherwise also, and in IT industry in particular also lot of changes are happening, lot of layoffs are happening, new hirings are also happening, and continuously many companies are realigning their workforce with respect to the new requirements coming up in the market, right? So SAP also is not untouched out of it. Within SAP also lot of changes are happening with regard to the current and upcoming job scenarios, right? So we will see how to stay relevant in the continuously challenging job market in the SAP field, right? So before I move further, I would like to request you all, please like this video, put up your comments if you have any, share it with your friends and circle which who will feel it that this is useful to them, and kindly like and subscribe. Okay, let's move further. So what we'll see in this video is, these are the contents. We will see evolving technologies, deep level of expertise is needed, right? Explore the current job market scenario on a regular basis, how to go about expanding the knowledge base what you have gained along with the experience, revisiting the old learnings what you have, involvement of AI and machine learning, which is all upcoming technologies and already getting used by a lot of areas, right? Continuous improvement, my personal view on future job scenarios, and finally we will conclude with my conclusion on this topic. Okay, maybe couple of lines throughout the this presentation you will find that some of the things are getting repeated, but remember whatever is getting repeated is having more importance, and that's why it is getting repeated. Okay, so let's move further. Evolving technologies. Remember one thing, 5 years 10 years ago SAP S4 HANA nobody was aware of. Though HANA as a database was launched back in 2011, but people were not aware all the way till 2015 when SAP has launched SAP S4 HANA, that time 1503 version, right? And with that, SAP has basically started a new journey altogether, which has brought in last 7-8 years a lot of changes with regard to how to access the system, how the types based presentation can be done, how the browser based system access can be done, replacing GUI, requirement of GUI, and not only that, now SAP you can use from any device literally, be it your mobile, be it your desktop, be it your palm top, be it your tablet, be it your tab, be it anything, any device. Now it can adjust and accommodate, right? So that's why I'm saying evolving digital world. Lot of things are changing. Lot of new technologies like blockchain, Internet of Things, DevOps, right? These kind of things are all coming up. To understand, and like SAC, SAP Analytics Cloud, right? So lot many things are coming up and changing up. Even SAP has brought in a lot of purchased. SAP has basically purchased a lot of third-party applications, given them their brand name, and then they have started also selling with the SAP name by making some modifications, some changes, some updates with some new additional features. So unless we are aware of what is going on and what is happening in the market, we will not be able to sustain our old way of working, and it will be difficult to survive in the long run. Since the technology and lot of things are changing, we also need to learn lot of new skill sets. If we don't learn new skill sets, for example, SAP Fiori was not there in picture a couple of years back, right? But today Fiori is also very much in demand, right? And likewise, not just one, there are many things which has come up into the picture. The technology is evolving at a very rapid pace, and in order to keep the pace with it, we also need to learn a lot of new things. Then only we can remain relevant in the job market. Otherwise, same like what has happened with Nokia, same will happen with our career as well. Just to put the things in the perspective. Now, internet is the biggest evolution. Why I said internet is the biggest evolution is, from the internet, literally whatever information you are looking out for, whether it is chat gpt, whether it is gen ai, whether it is ai, whether it is machine learning, whether it is any kind of technology, be it technical, functional, business, any kind of functional knowledge or whatever, most of the information, rather I will say almost all the information is available. All you need to do is to just search it and then learn it and work on it. Make yourself more understandable, more knowledgeable, and you should also know how to use these new technologies, right? Remember, few years back, the environmental sustainability was not such a big issue as such. Nowadays that has become very important topic, right? Same way, uh, I will say carbon credit functionality, right? That also was not there much earlier, but now that is coming up. So anything and everything you do with regard to the business, you need to also see from the sustainability perspective. And because of that, and environmental and climate changes, lot many new rules and regulations are coming up. For more, one more, let me give you one more example. For example, of the treatment with the personal data, what companies collect for the people, right? Earlier, the rules were a little bit more, I will say, free. Now the rules are more tough, and data protection itself is a big issue. Personal data protection, particularly, I'm talking about. So what I'm trying to say is, lot of new rules and regulations are coming up. For example, in India, earlier the tax procedures were different. Now they have brought in with GST. Now GST also keeps on changing something here and there. So you should be aware of all the changes happening into these things. Sometimes even in the interview, people ask such kind of things. Are you aware of the latest happening? What is 194Q, for that example, from the tax perspective, right? So many things are coming up. So unless you are well versed and you are aware and you are looking out for these informations upcoming in the market, it will be difficult to run in the long run. What is happening in the market, how the market is doing, where we are heading into, what all new things are coming up, what all new features are coming up within SAP with the every upcoming new release. This year, SAP will again give a full cloud version release sometime maybe in September, October. So they will release probably SAP 2024 versions, right? So with every release, something new is coming up. You should know what is new in and what is new over there. Many people, by doing their day-to-day job, what they forget is they need to also keep themselves updated with the latest happening with regard to the area in which they are currently working. Many people just forget that part somehow because of whatever XYZ reason or excuses they may have, but they don't update. This proves very costly in the due course of time from the career perspective. Remember, customers and clients also have a lot of new upcoming demands coming up because their business requirements are changing. Lot of environmental factors Like for example, supply chain is a big issue nowadays for any kind of business what they do. So they are also working to sort out those issues, how to go about sorting out the kind of challenges which is coming up, and lot of wars and all other things are also going all across the globe, right? At least two, three wars are at a time also it's currently happening. So everything has impact on the business things, and not just business, lot of technological advances are also happening. So we should be aware of how all these things are happening, what will be the impact of these things in the job. We should not always look from very small narrow perspective what is what's happening and how it is happening. Apart from these things, whatever is upcoming in the market is having nowadays shorter life period. Everything is evolving. For example, ECC support SAP is going to end by the year 2027 end, right? With extra premium, if you pay to the SAP, maybe another 2 to 3 years SAP will give you support. But in any case, probably around 2030 onwards, you will not have ECC support at all. In that case, either you will have to keep one in-house team for your maintenance work for SAP ECC side, or you have to move to S4 HANA system. And within S4 also, earlier SAP was bringing every year a new release. Now it is once in 2 years, right? So they are just doing it up their way how to go about bringing up new technologies, because for example IFRS few years ago was not so much mandatory. Nowadays IFRS is very much mandatory. Local laws, rules and regulations also, which keeps on changing from time to time, you have to keep yourself updated with, right? So the technology is evolving at a pace world has never seen before, and what I feel is this trend is going to continue. So unless you are updated with all these happenings in the market, survival will be difficult in the long run. Let's move further. Deep level expertise. Many people think that just by learning configuration, I am a full-fledged consultant. Again, I am sorry to say that is not the case. You need to understand lot many things. Remember, what you learn in a dummy system is a stand-alone system. That kind of system and work functionality you will never get in the real-time working systems. Working systems will be much more complex, will be connected with lot of other systems as well along with, right? So basic knowledge is not going to work for you. You have to have a deeper level of knowledge. Apart from that, you also need to utilize whatever opportunities are given to you. I have seen many people, even though they have a chance to explore and learn something new, they don't put an effort to learn. They think that I will dump my job to somebody else, that somebody else will do the job for me, and I will eat my bread and butter. I am sorry to say this attitude can't continue for long, and someday you will pay a very nice price for it for sure, right? You also need to understand what kind of business process a particular application is working on, right? For example, if I talk in the SAP perspective, particularly in the FI side, for example, EBS, this itself is a very strong area in which one can deep dive and learn a lot of things out of it. So unless somebody put an effort into these things, it won't come automatically. Somebody will not come forward to teach you all these things. You have to put an effort from your end first. Remember, nowadays jobs are always highly challenging. People expect one person to do multiple things at one go. So in that case, not just job becomes quite stressful, it becomes quite challenging also. And in all to handle all such kind of pressure, you need to be an expert. That's why I have written the deep level expertise is needed. Not just hard skills, but soft skills as well. Work on upskilling is very frequently. What I'm trying to say is you have to learn new things and not just in your area. you need to expand your area and scope of learning as well. Suppose you are good at into FI side, try to learn CO side also something, try to learn project system side also something, try to learn something in the FSCM side also. There are a lot of small submodules within SAP also, particularly in FICO only I am talking on, which people can get into and learn and explore. FICO is just 4 letters, right? But if you cover up all modules, submodules, and extra fitting all around it, it is not just one item, it is actually a bundle of items. So you have to keep on upskilling, and also you need to keep on learning new stuffs so that your bandwidth will keep on growing in size. And in order to have the deep level expertise, in any case, if you need some help, do not hesitate to ask for it. Many people feel that by asking help they are degrading themselves. No, nobody is perfect, nobody is 100%. Even in the interview, people do not expect person to perform 100%, then only they will get selected. If somebody process anything between 70 to 75% clean cut answers, the chances are very high that that person will get selected in the given round. Nobody is expected to be 100%. The more, so if somebody has given 80-90% clean cut answers, then he can consider himself guaranteed he will clear that round. Okay, let's move further. Explore the current job market. What I mean by that is, suppose you are already in a stable job, you have everything going on well, and you are somehow entering into the comfort zone. What my suggestion would be, just for the sake of giving interview, also try giving 1 or 2 interviews. That interview giving will explain you what is going on in the current market scenario, what all kind of questions they are asking, what all areas they are touching upon, where all you are not focusing upon in your current job work, right? So even if you are not looking out for a new job, if you give such kind of interviews, you will learn and explore a lot of things which will keep you ready for any kind of upcoming interview, or if you really want to switch your career, you can do that as well. You also need to understand all the new upcoming features launched by SAP into the area in which you are working on. If you are not aware of these things, remember, as people have so rightly said, no opportunity is ever lost. Your competition will take it up. And remember, rejection is always confirmed. Selection in any job interview is an accident. It may or it may not happen. But rejection is a confirmed item. Right? If nothing will happen, rejection will come. So it is a guaranteed item. But your selection is an accident. It will happen or not, nobody knows. And remember, lot of factors are there which plays behind the scene for selection and rejection. Rejection anyway, there are a hell lot of items. For selection, there is no specific rules and regulations. Next, highly demanding job scenarios. As I said, lot many things are demanded from a single person nowadays in the job. They are expected to manage their clients. They are expected to manage their team. They are expected to manage their bosses. They are expected to manage a lot of other things also along with. Sometimes you will be given some extra assignments. You have to coach somebody. You have to become mentor for somebody. You will be forced to learn something new. Lot of things can happen, and that is what makes job much more demanding actually, right? So you should be in a position to handle all these things. Current economic factors. I have talked about these things few minutes back, but let me just put it back into the perspective. I was talking of the Russia-Ukraine war going on, Israel-Hamas war is going on, and here and there small fightings are also going on, right? Apart from that, your Red Sea issue is currently going on, right? and even the trade route what is being used by the worldwide, they are also under threat because of many people are just putting a fight on the various ships, right? So that creates a supply chain issue actually. So all these factors also is impacting the job scenarios. Okay, then awareness of the upcoming changes. As I said, every country is bringing in some or the other kind of new changes. Some places economic activity is booming, some places economic activity is going down. Everywhere it is not going up, and everywhere it is not going down as well, right? Depending on lot of factors and circumstances. So in order to handle all these things, lots of new rules and regulations are coming up. You should be aware of in general all these things. Also, make it a habit that you are learning something new on a daily basis. If you are not learning something new on a daily basis, you are basically wasting your time. Don't do that. Your current job and your future job needs it badly. Moving on to the next slide. Knowledge base extension and revision. Many people have seen during the interview also, if I ask some basic things, sometimes they struggle a lot to even to recollect or to answer to those things. Why? Because once they have learned, they think that that will remain in their mind forever. That doesn't happen that way, unfortunately, unless you revise on a regular basis. Something you retain in mind, only those things you can retain which you are regularly in touch with and which you are regularly practicing in the system. If something you do not practice for 6 months, be assured 85% you will forget out of it. You leave some topic for 6 months, you don't touch it at all for 6 months, 85% will go away from your mind. If people will ask some basic questions, you will struggle to answer it. That's why you have to add something new in your knowledge database frequently. You should also try to use those new things in your day-to-day job as much as possible. You have to revise your old learnings, whatever you have learned, and all these things are bringing lot of opportunities also and lot of challenges also, because everybody's life is different, right? Everybody's life is not one and same. So opportunities to explore, challenges is to maintain the current scenario and adapting to the new ways of working, adapting to the new terminologies, new understandings, new business process, new modules. Lot of stuff can be new, right? And that is why learning new skills, learning new modules comes into the picture. So these things adds value in your CV basically and makes you much more employable when compared to other things. Remember one thing, in order to crack one interview, you should have capability to beat at least 50 to 100 people. If you don't have capability to beat at least 50 to 100 people who are already in the queue, it is hard to get a job. And as you grow further in your career, this competition will keep on going further heated up. Remember, the competition at the lower level also is pretty harsh nowadays, but as you grow further, this keeps on, the level of competition also becomes keep on growing further, because everybody wants to grow, right? So people will ask what kind of value addition you are bringing into the table for the client which you are going to work. So unless you prove your value, you will not be given that chance. So that is why knowledge based expansion and revision both are equally important to stay relevant in the current job market scenario. Moving on further, involvement of AI and machine learning. People call it as AI and ML, right? As I have written, easy and manual jobs, or maybe some jobs which are repetitive in nature, these all will be eaten up by AI in the due course of time. It has already started eating up a lot of jobs. In future, it will eat up almost 30-40% of the manual jobs. Comfortably it will eat up. Maybe in next few years you will see at least 40% of the manual jobs where technology can make a decision on behalf of human beings, and human beings intervention is not needed. All those such kind of jobs will be taken up by artificial intelligence and machine learning. The old knowledge what you had, that will become obsolete. So because of that only, if suppose today people are using ECC system, or take, let me give you one another example. Suppose today also somebody is knowing only SAP 4.7 version, IDES, right? Do you really think that maybe some clients might be still very old fashioned and they are still using that system, but majority of them have already upgraded to either ECC, and many of them are already moved to S4 HANA also, right? How many jobs you will get in SAP 4.7 version? Very few, right? So you have to upgrade your skills to ECC and then to S4 HANA as well. So old knowledge slowly will become obsolete, right? Whatever new things are coming up, you need to be well versed with. Even in the interview, they will not ask what is the feature of SAP 4.7 version. They are not going to ask. They will ask what are the latest feature coming up with S4 HANA 2024 February edition. Like that, they are going to ask, and you need to be ready for your answer for such kind of questions. Whatever new technologies SAP and other things are also bringing up, you should be aware of. With regard to like intercompany reconciliation, lot of changes are there in asset accounting also in S4 HANA, and likewise many more new changes are coming up. Certain things they are updating, certain things they are adding up, certain things they are removing up. So you should be aware of what all things are coming up, and this AI will keep on eating jobs. We have seen, I think from 2022 onwards, I have seen particularly lot of layoffs are happening, right? Within this year only, almost 1.5 months, little over 1.5 months has gone by in the year 2024, and I think if you have seen the news, you must have observed that how many people have already lost their job. So unless you do something in order to be prove yourself more valuable to the company is not going to show any mercy on you. They will just pick you and say, boss, there is the exit door, please get lost, in a polite manner, right? So unless you upgrade, involve, upskill, and keep on learning new stuffs, survival in the long run will be really very difficult. The only way to secure your future is to work today harder, right? Let's move on to the next. Continuous improvement. Gone are the days when people used to learn once and think that this learning will survive me for the lifelong. Not anymore. You have to keep on learning something new on a regular basis, rather I will say on a daily basis, and this is not an optional requirement anymore, it is a mandatory requirement. You also need to see that what kind of value you are bringing in to the client, to the organization you are working for. If company will find that you are not adding enough value to their job, to the work which you are doing, they will not hesitate to show you the pink slip. You should also gain experience by way of discussing the various kind of problems and issues you face in the job with your colleagues, with your co-workers, within your network. And also you have to probably unlearn certain old stuff which does not serve any purpose, right? If something is not working, right, let me give you one example to make it better. Nowadays everybody is using smartphone, right? If somebody will give you button based phone, will you accept it? Particularly for the new generation I'm talking about, they will not, because they are used to for the touch screen as such, right? They are not aware how to use the buttons also, correct? So that is the old and outdated model, right? So you have to forget it. You have to learn and adopt new technologies and terminologies. Learn new skills. As I have already repeated few times, I am still repeating. And the new skills should be hard and soft both ways. Hard means you are learning something new, some new business process you are learning, some new certifications you are taking up, you are learning into some new domains. These are all kind of your hard skills. Soft skills would be you should be good at communication, you should be good at presentation, you should be good in writing emails, you should be good in negotiations, and you should be good at lot of other stuffs. Nowadays people all talk about lifelong learning. It is already happening. If you don't keep on learning, job also will stop loving you in the due course of time. Remember one thing, at some point of time, at least 15, 20, or maybe around 25, 30 years back, people used to think that once we get into a job, and that job will be my first and last job, and from there only I am going to retire, right? I am talking about not today, I am talking about at least 15 to 20 years back, or probably even older than that. But those times are all completely changed nowadays. So old ways of working, old ways of learning is not going to work in the future. So you have to change yourself accordingly and make yourself future ready by working on today and tomorrow. Now coming to my personal view on the future job scenarios. Remember, job security is a myth. Nobody's job is secure as such. Any job can go at any point of time. Think about when the CEO's jobs are also not secure. How can you think that your job will be 100% secure? Don't fool yourself. Next, it takes a lot from a person perspective to remain as a top south talent in the evolving job market scenario. If you think that companies should reach out to you, then you also need to keep on adding some value addition in your CV on a very frequent and regular basis. And you have to create a brand for yourself, rather, I will say. People should be automatically inclined towards you. Otherwise, one job will go and you will be out. But if you have some value, then if one job will go, another job will catch you, or you will be able to find another job for yourself, right? So all these things can happen only when you are ready for all these things which we have discussed in our previous slides. You also need to plan ahead for the future. Don't think that whatever we are continuing today, the same way it will continue forever. It is going to change. Be very sure about it. So plan ahead for the future, how you are going to do it, how you are going to manage a lot of new things. Be very selfish with regard to the new learnings for yourself. Why I am saying particularly new? Because new is the only thing which will add value. If you don't learn something new, there is no actually value addition. And if there is no value addition in your CV, why somebody should hire you? And remember, competition is going to be heated up in future as well. It is not going to be down, basically it is going to be up. Because every year lakhs and lakhs of new people are getting added up in the overall already workforce. And if the economic condition of the whole world is not doing so well, then you can imagine what all things can happen. Also, you need to take calculated risks if needed. Some people think that why to take so much of risk, but then sometimes taking some calculated risk is very necessary to move ahead in life. If you don't take a calculated risk, it becomes very difficult to achieve your full potential in your life. Some risk is always needed. Remember, nothing is fixed as such. The only constant item in the world is called as change. Everything is subject to change. Today there may be a small baby, tomorrow the baby will become child, the child will become a teen will become the adult in the due course of time. Why do you think that a baby will remain a kind of baby in the lab forever? Does it happen like that? No, right? So if baby keeps on changing so many things and so many forms, the same goes with the job and market scenario as well, right? It is not going to be the same. It will keep on changing, keep on bringing new things. So you need to be ready to accept those changes and you need to be ready to adopt all those changes. And final and the last thing which I will say is to secure your future, you have to work for today. If you work today honestly, you have done your work correctly, you are putting an effort into learning new things, only these activities will save your future. Remember, life is not meant for a day, right? Life is usually for a long run. And if life is to be for the long run, your preparation cannot be for the short term. It has to be long run only, long term only rather I will say. So for that you need to prepare, you need to work hard, you need to do what all it takes to keep yourself job ready at any given point of time. Many people feel that okay, I will prepare tomorrow, I will prepare tomorrow. My friend, tomorrow will never come in your life. Every tomorrow gets converted into today and tomorrow remains as a tomorrow only. So instead of waiting for tomorrow, do it today, make yourself better, and then tomorrow will be secure because of today's actions done by you. Keep that in mind. Okay, moving to the next. Now I have come to the conclusion part of this particular topic. Learning a new skill is a deliberate decision by oneself, right? Nobody can actually force you to learn something new. You have to force yourself to learn something new. It can be any small item also, not necessary that every day you will learn big things, and that is not expected out of you as well, because every day cannot be one and same. But small and bits and pieces also, if you keep on adding over a period of time, you will see how many new stuffs you have added in your knowledge base. So make it as a deliberate choice, deliberate action on that, right? You also need to make yourself accountable for your job and career. You cannot always blame somebody else for your job and career situation. You cannot blame the company, you cannot blame your manager, you cannot blame your client, you cannot blame your family, you cannot blame your wife and kids. Blaming just doesn't help at all. Don't blame it, take ownership of it, be accountable, work for it, take the guidance if at all needed from somebody you can trust on, and keep working, keep moving ahead. The job market dynamics are not constant in nature. What was useful 15-20 years ago is no more useful today, right? A lot of things have changed, right? Whoever is not doing anything new is basically putting their position and job into a danger zone. Improvement and learning is not a one day activity anymore. Earlier also it was not there, today also it is not there, tomorrow also it will not be there. Learning is a lifelong activity. Every day you should learn something new. That should be your motive. That with that intention you should start your every day in the morning. Also, you have to keep your eyes and ears wide open to understand what is going on in the market, so that you can also make your course corrections or make changes in your plans as per the requirement of the job market. If you don't focus into those things, you will still feel that your old ways of working is going good, and that will continue forever. A day will come pretty soon when you will be thrown out. If at all you want to avoid that kind of situation coming up in future, you have to do something which is worthwhile doing, worthwhile exploring. Remember, as I said, nothing is constant, right? Everything is subject to change in the due course of time. So please keep this point in mind all the time, and that only will save your future. So now I have come to the conclusion of this video. Already conclusion is done. So if you have any questions, queries, or anything which you want to ask, which you want to understand, which you want to learn, you can put across in the comment section of this video, or you can also drop your queries to the mail ID given below. Finally, thank you so much for watching this video. Kindly like and subscribe my YouTube channel. This gives me a boost to create more such videos which will be eye opening for you, a knowledge enhancement for you, and give you some kind of guidance to what all things you are supposed to do to make your life a better, right? So thank you once again, and with this I am just closing this video. Wish you all a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.